Listen to me. Are you listening? Because what I'm about to tell you could change everything. And I mean everything. Your energy, your strength, your life, the way you wake up in the morning, the way you feel when you look in the mirror. All of it. One habit. That's all it takes. One habit, done consistently, and you will become a different human being. I guarantee it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jack, I've heard this before. Some guru, some pill, some program. Forget all that. I'm not selling you anything fancy. I'm not here to impress you with big words or complicated science. I'm here because I've been doing this for over 60 years, and I have proof. Living, breathing, iron pumping proof that this works. You know what I did this morning? I got up at 4 a.m. 4 in the morning. While most people were still sleeping, dreaming about the life they wish they had, I was in my gym, 90 minutes of strength training. Every muscle worked, every rep counted. Then I jumped in my pool and swam for 30 minutes. At my age. You want to know how old I am? I'm 70 years old. 70. And I feel better than men half my age. I have more energy than most 30-year-olds I know. My doctor looks at my blood work and shakes his head in amazement. That's not luck, my friend. That's this one habit I'm going to share with you today. But first, let me tell you where I came from, because you need to understand something. I was not always this man standing in front of you. Not even close. When I was 15 years old, I was a disaster. A walking, stumbling, miserable disaster. I was weak, skinny and weak, covered in pimples. I had terrible headaches. I was addicted to sugar and junk food like you wouldn't believe. Candy bars for breakfast, soda for lunch. I was moody, depressed, constantly tired. And you know what else? The girls used to beat me up. I'm not kidding you. Girls, I couldn't even defend myself. I was that weak, that low, that far gone. My mother, God bless her, she was worried sick about me. She didn't know what to do. I was flunking out. I was miserable. I had no direction in life. And then one day she heard about this man giving a lecture, a health and fitness lecture. She dragged me there. I didn't want to go. I was 15. I thought I knew everything, the way 15-year-olds do. But she grabbed me by the ear practically and said, "John, you're coming with me." And that day changed my life forever. The man's name was Paul Bragg. And he stood up on that stage and he looked right at me. Or at least it felt like he did. And he said something I've never forgotten. He said, "It's never too late to change. It doesn't matter where you've been. It only matters where you're going." And then he talked about the human body, about what it could do, about what it was designed to do, about how we were treating it like a garbage dump and then wondering why we felt like garbage. I sat there with my mouth open. Something clicked. Something deep inside me woke up. I made a decision right there in that chair, at 15 years old, skinny and pimply and beat up by girls, that I was going to change. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. And here's the thing about that decision. That decision was the habit, that daily decision to show up for my body, to say yes to myself every single morning. That is the one habit that made me everything I am today, and it can do the same for you. Now let me tell you something. I didn't wake up the next morning as a superhero. Oh no. I struggled. The first time I tried to do a push-up, I could barely do 3. 3 push-ups. Me. The man who would go on to do over 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 chin-ups in under an hour. 3 push-ups, and I was done, gasping, embarrassed. But you know what I did? I went back the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. Because that is the secret right there. That is the whole secret wrapped up in one simple truth. Consistency is everything. You don't get strong from one workout. You don't get healthy from one salad. You don't transform your body in a day, a week, or even a month. But you do it by showing up. Every single day. That's the one habit. Daily commitment to movement and to feeding your body what it actually needs. Day after day after day. Until it becomes as natural as breathing. Until you feel wrong on the days you don't do it. That's when you know the habit has you, and boy, that is a beautiful feeling. Now, I've been preaching this message for over 60 years. 60 years! And in that time, I have seen people transform themselves at 20, at 40, at 60, at 80 years old. I have watched people come to me broken, sick, exhausted, convinced it was too late for them. And I've watched those same people become strong, vital, alive again. Because the body, your body, it wants to be healthy. It is designed to be healthy. You just have to give it the chance. Here's what most people don't understand about the human body. Your body is the most magnificent machine ever created. I've been saying this for decades and it still gives me chills. Think about the greatest car ever built, a Rolls-Royce, a Ferrari, the most advanced, most powerful, most beautifully engineered vehicle in the world. Now, what happens if you put bad fuel in it? What happens if you never change the oil? What happens if you let it sit in the garage for 10 years and never drive it? It breaks down, it rusts, it becomes worthless, no matter how incredible it started out. Your body is a million times more sophisticated than any car ever made. Your heart beats about 100,000 times a day without you even thinking about it. Your lungs process over 20,000 breaths. Your muscles, your joints, your organs, your brain, all of it is working in perfect coordination every moment of your life. But just like that Ferrari, you have to maintain it. You have to fuel it right. You have to use it. Exercise is king. Nutrition is queen. Together, they make a kingdom of health that nothing can touch. I've been saying that since before most of you were born, and it is as true today as the day I first said it. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. And you cannot eat perfectly and expect to stay strong if you never move your body. It's both. Always both. But here's where we start. Right here, right now, with movement, with the daily habit of making your body work. When you exercise consistently, something remarkable happens. Your muscles don't just get stronger in the gym. Your heart gets stronger. Your lungs get more efficient. Your metabolism speeds up. Your brain releases chemicals, natural chemicals, that make you feel alive. People pay fortunes for things that try to replicate what a good workout does to your mood, and here it is, available to every single person on this planet, for free. All you have to do is move. And here's what happens when you don't move. Every year after about 30 years old, the average person loses muscle mass. They slow down. Their metabolism drops. They get stiffer. Their energy decreases. Doctors call it sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle, and most people just accept it. They say, "Oh, I'm getting older. This is just how it is." Baloney. That is not how it has to be. Study after study shows that people who exercise consistently maintain muscle mass, maintain bone density, maintain mental sharpness well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. The aging that most people accept as inevitable is largely the result of a body that has been neglected, not a body that has simply gotten old. Now let me talk about excuses, because I know you have them. Don't be embarrassed, everybody has them. I've heard every single one over 60 years of this work, and I'm going to destroy every last one of them today. You say you're too old. You know what? Get in line, because I've heard that from people who were 40 and from people who were 90. And every time, I say the same thing. Your body doesn't have a calendar. It doesn't know you're 65. It only knows what you ask of it. I have seen 80-year-old men and women begin an exercise program and gain strength within weeks. Weeks! Because the body responds at any age. The research is absolutely clear on this. You are never too old to get stronger. Never. You say you don't have time. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend watching television? How much time do you spend scrolling through your phone? I'm not judging you, but I want you to think honestly. Could you find 30 minutes? Could you find 20? Because that's all it takes to start. 20 minutes of movement every day will change your life. I wake up at 4 a.m. to make sure nothing gets in the way of my training. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m., but you have to find the time, because what is more important than your health? What meeting, what television show, what distraction is worth more than your body, your energy, your life? You say you're too tired. Oh, this one I love. You're too tired to exercise. I understand that feeling. I do. But here's the thing that will blow your mind. Exercise gives you more energy, not less. When you are inactive, when you sit all day, when you never push your body, you feel more tired. It seems backward, but it's absolutely true. Your body is a machine that generates energy when you use it. The more you use it appropriately, the more energy it produces. People who start exercising consistently always say the same thing after a few weeks. They say, "Jack, I have more energy than I've had in years," because movement is energy. Stagnation is exhaustion. You say it's too hard. You know what's hard? Being sick, being unable to tie your shoes, being out of breath climbing a single flight of stairs, being dependent on other people for the things you used to do yourself. That is hard. Exercise is challenging. Yes, it should be challenging. But the challenge is conquerable. And every time you conquer it, you get a little stronger, a little more capable, a little more alive. And you say you can't afford a gym? Listen to me carefully. You don't need a gym. Your body is the gym. Push-ups require no equipment. Squats require no equipment. Walking requires no equipment. A pair of inexpensive dumbbells, 2 soup cans if that's what you have, a chair for support, the ground beneath your feet. That is all you need to begin. I started with nothing, less than nothing. I built my first gym equipment out of things I found. Because where there is a will, there is always a way. Now, I want to tell you exactly what my day looks like, because I want you to see that this is real. This is not theory. I don't preach things I don't practice. Never have, never will. I get up at 4 a.m. every morning. The house is quiet. The world is asleep, and I am up and ready. Why 4 a.m.? Because at 4 a.m., nothing can interfere. There are no phone calls, no meetings, no distractions. It is me and my commitment to myself, and nothing else. Now, I'm not telling you to get up at 4 a.m. You find your time, but find a time that is protected, sacred, a time that belongs to your body and nothing else. I spend 90 minutes on strength training. I work every major muscle group. I don't skip anything because your body is a system and every part of that system matters. I do exercises that challenge me. At 70 years old, I still push myself. Not recklessly, but progressively. Always a little more than last time. That's the principle of progressive overload, and it works at every age. Then I swim for 30 minutes. Swimming is one of the greatest exercises ever invented. It works your entire body, it's gentle on your joints, it challenges your cardiovascular system. I love it. I have loved it for decades. You might love swimming, you might love walking, you might love cycling. Find what you love, and you will never have to force yourself to do it. Then comes food. And I am passionate about food, because food is fuel, and fuel determines performance. I eat 2 meals a day. Some people think that sounds extreme, but when you feed your body properly and you're active, 2 good meals is all you need. I eat at least 10 different vegetables every single day. 10! Raw, juiced, steamed. I have been juicing my vegetables since before juicing was fashionable. I discovered it because it works. You get the enzymes, the vitamins, the minerals in a concentrated, easily digestible form. I drink juice every single morning. My body thanks me for it every single day. I avoid sugar. I have avoided refined sugar since I was 15 years old and made that decision to change. Sugar is the enemy of your body. It spikes your blood sugar, inflames your system, robs you of energy, and creates cravings that never end. I was addicted to sugar at 15, and I know exactly how powerful that addiction is. But I also know it can be broken, because I broke it myself. Now let me tell you about some people I've seen transform their lives with this habit, because I want you to know that I am not a special case. I am not genetically gifted. I am not an anomaly. What I have achieved is available to anyone willing to commit. I remember a woman. She came to see me when she was 52 years old. She had been told by her doctor that her bone density was dangerously low, osteoporosis setting in. She was afraid to fall. She was afraid of her own body. She came to me practically in tears. She said, "Jack, is it too late?" And I said, "It is never too late. Not while you're breathing." We started her with what she could do. Gentle strength training, gradually increasing. Weight-bearing exercise, because that is exactly what builds bone density. Within 6 months, her follow-up scan showed improvement. Within a year, her doctor was amazed. Within 2 years, she was stronger than she'd been in decades. She still calls me. She's 70 now, and she still trains 3 days a week. That is the power of the daily habit. And I'll tell you about a man I met. A big man, overweight, exhausted. His doctor had warned him his heart was in trouble. He was 58 years old. He came to me convinced it was too late. Too old, too heavy, too far gone. I told him what I'm telling you right now. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. He started by walking 10 minutes a day. That's it. 10 minutes. But he did it every day. Then 15. Then 20. He cleaned up his nutrition. He added some simple strength work. 2 years later, he had lost 60 pounds. His heart health had improved dramatically, and he was walking 5 miles every morning with a smile on his face. He told me, "Jack, I got my life back." You know what he really got? He got himself back. And let me tell you about a young woman. She was only 30, but she had already given up. She said she had no energy. She was always tired. She sat at a desk all day, and by evening she could barely function. She thought this was just adult life. Normal. This exhaustion was normal. I told her absolutely not. Your body is 30 years old, and it wants to run, it wants to move, it wants to be strong. We started her on a simple daily routine: morning movement, nutrition overhaul, hydration. Within 3 weeks, she called me and said, "Jack, I feel like a different person," because she was becoming a different person. That is what this habit does. Now, I know that challenges come up. I know that life throws things at you: injuries, setbacks, plateaus, days when the motivation simply isn't there. I want to talk about that because if I pretend this journey is always smooth, I'm lying to you, and I don't lie. I have been injured. Over 60 years of intense physical training. Of course, I have had injuries. And each time, I did not quit. I did not sit down and say, well, that's it for Jack Lalanne. I adapted. If my shoulder was injured, I worked my legs. If my knee was bothering me, I worked my upper body. You can always find something you can do. Always. The injury is a detour, not a dead end. Never let a temporary obstacle become a permanent excuse. And plateaus, they happen too. There will be times when you feel like you're working just as hard, but nothing seems to be changing. That's your body adapting, and it means you need to give it a new challenge. Change the exercises. Increase the weight. Try a different form of movement. Your body is extraordinarily intelligent, and it adapts to what you consistently ask of it. When it adapts, you adapt right back. Keep it guessing, keep it growing. And motivation. Let me tell you something about motivation that most people get wrong. They wait for it. They wait until they feel like working out. They wait until the mood strikes, until the stars align, until everything feels perfect. Stop waiting. Motivation is not something that arrives before action. It arrives because of action. The days I least want to work out are the days when it matters most that I do. Because when I finish, when I've honored my commitment to myself on the hardest day, that is the day I feel most alive. Start before you feel ready. Do it before you feel motivated. Because the doing creates the motivation, not the other way around. Now I want you to imagine two paths, two possible futures, and you are choosing between them right now, today, in this moment. I want you to really see these two paths. On the first path, you do nothing different. You go home today, you sit down, you watch television, you tell yourself you'll start Monday. Monday comes, something comes up. Next week, you'll really start. Then the months pass. Then the years. Your body gets a little weaker each year, a little stiffer, a little heavier. The stairs get harder. The energy gets lower. The doctor visits get more frequent. The medications, maybe a few more. And one day, you realize you can't do the things you used to do. You can't play with your grandchildren the way you want to. You can't travel the way you dreamed. You are a passenger in your own body, watching life from the sidelines. I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm saying this because I've seen it happen, and I refuse to let it happen to you without giving you the truth first. On the second path, you make a decision today. You commit to the habit. You start, even imperfectly, even with just 10 minutes a day. You show up tomorrow, and the day after. You stumble because everyone stumbles, but you get back up, and slowly, steadily, something remarkable begins to happen. Your body gets stronger, your energy rises, you feel good in the morning for the first time in years. You look forward to your workout. You start eating better because you're treating your body with respect, and you want to honor that. You get leaner, stronger, more capable. You play with your grandchildren on the floor, and then you get up and chase them around the yard. You take that trip you've been dreaming about, and you actually have the energy to enjoy it. You are not a passenger in your body. You are the driver. You are in control, and you feel it every single day. Which path do you want? Because here is the absolute truth. You are choosing right now. Every day that you delay is a vote for the first path. Every day that you act is a vote for the second. And the choices add up, one day at a time, until they become your life. So here is what I want you to do. Starting today. Not Monday. Not after the holidays. Not when things calm down. Today. First, I want you to commit to 30 days. Just 30 days. I know some of you are thinking, Jack, 30 days. That's a long time. It is not a long time. It is 30 sunrises. 30 mornings when you get to make the right choice. In 30 days, you will feel so different that the habit will carry itself. But you have to give it 30 days to take root. In the first week, I want you to focus on one thing only: movement every single day. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be intense. But it has to happen every day. Wake up and do 10 push-ups from your knees if that's where you are. Stand up and squat down 10 times. Take a 20-minute walk. Whatever your starting point is, honor it without embarrassment, because everyone starts somewhere. I started with 3 push-ups. 3! Start where you are. In the second week, add something to your nutrition. Remove one thing that's hurting you. Added sugar is the first to go, always, and add one thing that's helping you, a vegetable you like, a glass of water before each meal, something simple, something sustainable. In the third week, begin to push a little harder in your exercise. Add a few more repetitions, add a few more minutes, try something slightly more challenging, because this is the week your body will really start to respond. You'll feel it. You'll feel stronger, more capable. And that feeling is addictive in the best possible way. In the fourth week, you'll look back at where you started, and you won't believe the change. Not just in your body, though the body will have changed, in your energy, in your attitude, in the way you carry yourself, in the confidence that comes from knowing you made a promise to yourself and you kept it. That confidence transfers to every area of your life, your work, your relationships, everything. After your 30 days, I want you to do 30 more, and then 30 more after that, because here is where the magic happens. Here is where the habit becomes who you are. It is no longer something you do. It becomes something you are. You are a person who moves their body. You are a person who feeds themselves well. You are a person who shows up for themselves every single day. And that identity, that self-image, is the most powerful force for change on earth. Some of you are going to go home today and start. I know you are. And I'm proud of you before you even begin, because the decision itself is the first rep. Some of you are still on the fence, and I want to talk to you directly for a moment. What are you waiting for? Seriously, I want to know. What is the thing you're waiting for that is going to make it easier to start? More time? It doesn't come. More energy? It doesn't arrive before the habit. A better moment? My friend, this is the moment. This right here, this breath you are taking, this is the only moment that ever exists. You cannot act in yesterday, and you cannot act in tomorrow. You can only act right now. Your body is not your enemy. It has carried you through everything you've ever experienced. Every joy, every heartbreak, every beautiful moment of your life happened inside this body, and it is asking you, it is begging you to take care of it, to give it what it needs, to let it be the magnificent machine it was designed to be. I have given my body everything I had, and it has given me back a life beyond anything I could have imagined as that sick, weak, pimple-faced 15-year-old sitting in that lecture. I have pulled boats. I have swum great distances with my hands and feet bound. I have done feats of strength that people said were impossible. And I did them because I believed in the power of a human body that is treated with respect and worked with consistency. And I believe in your body. Right now, sitting there or standing there, whatever shape you're in, whatever age you are, whatever limitations you think you have, I believe your body has more capacity than you know. More strength, more resilience, more possibility. I have seen it too many times to doubt it. The human body, given half a chance, will rise. So here is my final challenge to you, and I mean this from the deepest place in my heart. I have spent my whole life trying to get this message to people because I know what it can do. I know what it did for me. I know what I've watched it do for thousands of people. And if I have any mission left in this life, it is to get you to believe it too. This one habit, daily movement and daily commitment to your health, is not just about looking better or feeling better, though you will look better and you will feel better. It is about the life you get to live, the fullness of it, the vitality of it, the decades of energy and capability and joy that are available to you if you simply decide to claim them. Don't give up on yourself. Don't accept a smaller life than the one you're capable of living. Get up tomorrow morning, maybe not at 4 a.m., that's my time, but at your time, and do something for your body, and then do it again the next day, and the day after that, until it is simply what you do, until it is simply who you are. I'm Jack Lalanne, and I believe in you more than you believe in yourself right now. Prove me right. Now go do it.